unlimited time and resources, what would you want and do? Recognition, peace of mind, good health, security, wealth, happiness, travel, spiritual methods, family, friendships, free time, knowledge, acquiring more knowledge, and close relations with people. These are all you want possibly if you have free time and resources. Look at this. This is a masterpiece of development. It's a channel breeze over river Elbe and joins the former East Germany and West Germany. It's located in it's located in Berlin, open to public in 2011. Look at this structure. This structure is supported by 5,000 pillars, open to public in 2011. Jiangobei Bridge, which is 42.5 kilometers, open to till July 2011. According to Guinness World Records, the world's longest bridge over water. Look at these are the developments. The tallest bridge in the world, around 1,125 feet. It's located in France, open to public in 2004. Boeing 787, see the developments. This is the initiatives at Ambuja Cements Limited, a novel way of transporting limestone, conveyor belt running through 3 hills. Thinking is progress. Non-thinking is stagnation of the individual, organization, and the country. Thinking leads to action. Knowledge without action is useless and irrelevant. Knowledge with action converts adversity into prosperity. The best brains of the nation may be found on the last benches of the classroom, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. If you look at the teaching learning in the legacy of higher education in Bharat, we had ancient universities like Taxila, Nalanda, Somapura, Bikramshila, Puspagiri, Odantapuri, Jagdala, Somapura, and Vallabi. These are all ancient universities in India. As far as Nalanda is concerned, it was completely devoted for Buddhist studies. More than 10,000 students from different parts of the world, like Sri Lanka, Korea, Japan, China, Tibet, Indonesia, Persia, and Turkey, they used to come and study here. They had around 2,000 professors. They take training on fine arts, medicine, mathematics, astronomy, politics, and the art of war. Puspagiri, again in Odisha, is Taxila for Hindu and Buddhist study of learning. Taxila is best known because of its association with Chanakya. The famous treatise Arthashastra. Similarly, for Bikramshila, we lost true wealth of knowledge due to many invasions in Bharat. From birthplace of Veda to striving to be just literate. After post-independence period 1950, the government of India appointed a planning commission to prepare a blueprint for the development of different aspects of life, including education. The main goals of these plans were to achieve universal elementary education and to eradicate illiteracy, to establish vocational and skill development programs, skill training programs, to upgrade standards and modernize all stages of education with special emphasis on technical education, science education, environment education, morality, and the relationship between school, work, etc. To provide facilities for high quality education in every district of the country. Since there many efforts are being done to improve the quality of education, we suffer because quality of education is very important. But very less was achieved for standardization of higher education for its quality and compatibility to meet societal needs as well as global challenges. So to address the issue in deterioration of inequality of education by the recommendation of NPE 1986 and the Program of Action 1992, NAAC was established in the year 1994 as an independent national accreditation body with a vision to make quality the defining element of higher education in India through a combination of self and external evaluation, promotion, and sustenance initiatives. Our mission is periodic assessment and accreditation of higher education institutions to stimulate the academic environment in higher education institutions for promotion of quality of teaching, learning, and research, encourage self-evaluation, accountability, autonomy, and innovations, to undertake quality-related research studies, consultancy, and training programs, to collaborate with other stakeholders of higher education for quality evaluation, promotion, and sustenance. Our value framework, which we call guiding elements for assessment and accreditation processes, contributing to national development, fostering global competencies among students, inculcating value system among students, promoting the use of technology and quest for excellence. We have different manuals. I will not talk about different manuals because the topic is different, but still let me tell you, we have 7 different criterias which indicates the quality of education in any institutes. We have some, again the criteria is divided into different key indicators, then metrics, qualitative metrics, and quantitative metrics. If you talk about different criterias, we have curricular aspects, teaching, learning, and evaluation, research, innovations and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices. In COVID-19 pandemic and its impact, you can see throughout the world, people are struggling with this coming out from this COVID-19 pandemic, crucial global health calamity of the century. It spread around the world, posing enormous health, economic, environmental, and social challenges to the entire human population. Coronavirus outbreak is severely disrupted the global economy. All the nations are struggling to slow down and the transmission of disease. A lot of activities people have done it, maybe testing and treating the patients, quarantining the suspected persons through contact tracing, restricting large gatherings, maintaining complete or partial lockdown, all the things people have, government has taken initiatives. But if you look at COVID-19 is an emerging, rapidly evolving situation's impact on the human society. Huge impact on economy, impact on information technology, impact on tourism sector, impact on human psychology, and most impact on education sector. Indian economy was expected to lose around 32,000 crores every day during the first 21 days of complete lockdown, which was declared following the coronavirus outbreak. Up to 53% of business in the country were projected to be significantly affected the world economy. In 21st century is an age of information. It's an age of knowledge economy with the problem solving and critical thinking skills over the rote skills of industrial era. These smart glasses have been developed by Zio, where you can have conferencing, 2D conference, 3D conference, virtual reality, augmented reality, so on and so forth. That's more preparation, materials, and thought. Therefore, it is very important to understand these limitations and think beyond to support teachers and consider how the crisis can be an opportunity to enhance teachers' skills. In this particular scenario, teacher has to develop their skills, and because in online, how the teacher will be teaching to the student is important. Okay, when they return to the classroom, challenges are as education system emerges from this crisis, it is clear that a new chapter is waiting to be written with detailed, medium, and long-term actions. So there is a blended models. Blended models means partially reopen or creating remedial e-courses which can help educational systems build back stronger and become more equitable. Faculty members should, whenever they teach, they should record it and give to the students, the recording to be given to the students. As part of this process, it will be crucial to recognize the relevance of developing technological and digital pedagogies for teachers. Institutional roles, increasing funding for teachers, capacity building, It's very important. Giving training to the faculty members when delivering to the students online mode, diversifying and innovating the faculty development programs, giving training on virtual training, activating regular follow-up plans to support the skills developed using both remote and training and peers. Long-term outcome of the initiatives will improve learning performance. Medium-term outcomes will result in increased student motivation and confidence, increased student retention, and increased life skills, competencies among students, and techno-pedagogical skills of teachers. Need to invest in 4 outcomes areas that focus on what are the in this particular scenario, what is to be invested by the institutions. Teachers are equipped with skills, knowledge, and resources to integrate technology effectively into lesson planning and delivery. Students develop strong competencies to help them confidently navigate today's digital world. Communities value and support the use of technology within and beyond the classroom, and governments support and include higher education institutions in digital education priorities or plans. NEP action models access: where are the learners going to learn? What are the costs and facilities? With what frequency do the institution provide scope for updating the facilities, knowledge, and integration of changes? Increase GER and GDP on education, curriculum, outcome-based, employability, skills, value addition, flexible academic credit bank. Teaching function: what approaches and methodologies are adopted? What is the teaching methodologies that textbook with local content flavor, India's futures and India's leadership role in upcoming fields, knowledge of India. Okay, then they have given about examinations in 1 to 8 and examinations. For all of you, change is possible only when I change the way I look at the issues. More interactive is important, more participatory is important, more engaging is important, more involving is important. Always don't try to be reactive, try to be proactive. I'll give the difference of reactive and proactive. Reactive is I'll be happy when I have full establishment. If only I had a boss who was not. If I had respect from students, then I will do this. If I could just have management days, if the environment was more conducive. But proactive is I can be a better role model. I can be more organized, resourceful. I can be more loving, understanding. I will be more diligent. I can seek out personnel and be able to understand. So finally, to achieve quality, we need to work together, collaborate with others, tolerate differences, respect diverse views, because none of us is as smart as all of us. My closing remarks: in life, it is not the most talented who survive, not the most intelligent, but the ones who are most responsive to change. And the real change can happen only when you listen to your inner voice, the intuition, and it is never too late. Take risks in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you lose, you can guide. Thank you all. Thank you all for participating in this webinars. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Roy. We are really enriched by your talk. And now the session is a little bit open for 5 minutes for discussion, if any, or queries, if any. to Professor Roth regarding his lecture. If
Yes.
any query.
Yeah.
Please.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
This is Dr. Devdata Chatterjee from Department of History, Shamsundur College. Sir, it was a very actually insightful and nice presentation. I thoroughly liked it, and of course, it's a new opportunity and new challenges that we all are facing. Sir, my only query is if we talk about the Mofussil colleges and the colleges in rural India, actually talking about the higher education today, I'm not going into the school education. So the challenges the students are facing, not the teachers always, but the student is facing, that is affordability. The new education policy is also talking about, as you have mentioned in your as one of the slides, that the challenges are coming from mainly rural India, and the new education policy is talking about equality among all groups of students and affordability. So, how that breach can be established between the affordability and non-affordability, keeping in mind our socio-economic structure, especially rural India.
Yeah. See, let me tell you, in this COVID-19 pandemic, when we used to receive similar kind of questions. See, when we receive similar kind of questions from different institutions, students are complaining that we don't have internet connectivity, we don't have smartphones, but how we can have online teaching learning. But only my at present, only the solution to this is, whoever is in a particular small village, if a one student is having, go back to our Gurukul system of teaching and learning. If one student is having a laptop, if one student is having a mobile phones, let all of them, that motivation should come from the faculty side. All of them, let them assemble in one place, let them assemble in one place, let them learn from what the faculty is teaching, right? When you talk about affordability, talk about whether they can afford for the education or not. Of course, and slowly it will come how to give funds to different, all that it has been mentioned in the national education policy. But the present solution for this problem is, let us assemble in one place, like the way, I mean, the Gurukul system, the faculty has to motivate who are the students having well equipped with the technology. Let them assemble in one place. Let them learn from there. That motivation will come from the faculty side. Faculty has to involve more as far as this online teaching learning is concerned, because everybody is in the remote place. Faculty has to take a major role, active role. Understanding the technology for the faculty member is also important. We don't talk, see, that's what I was mentioning in one of the slide, that it's not only the technology, understanding of the technology is important. Then what is the content delivered to the student is important. That means those technologies should be communicated to each and every individuals. How to make the class interesting, how students will participate in learning process is also important. See, that is the only solution we have right now as far as affordability is concerned in this COVID pandemic. Of course, in education policies, the giving grants to the giving fees waiver, all those things is going to come, but this is the solution at this present crisis.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Thank you.
my observation is this is mind-blowing lecture, and we are taking it as a pathfinding methodology, which is very necessary to fight against this situation and to continue our higher educational institutions, sir. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sudeep, I have a question.
I would like to request Dr. Roth to please stop presenting your screen, sir.
No, I'm not presenting. I'm not presenting. Somebody else is presenting.
Okay, actually, it is showing that you are presenting. Okay, sir, no
No.
problem. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, fine,
Okay.
sir.
Sudeep,
Fine, sir.
I have a question to Dr. Roth.
Yes, please.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Jagannath, you can go ahead.
Yes. Sir, Jagannath Hatti, Secretary Teachers Council, Samsundar College. Sir, I have a question. From your lecture, we are very much reached. Now, being advisor of NAC, I have a question to you. Sir, there is a paradigm shift of methodologies for assessment of NAC. Now, in the current pandemic situation, how we teachers and faculties of the undergraduate colleges can prepare for our forthcoming next assessment. If you guide and say something, please.
Okay. Sir, as far as 1920 is concerned, that suppose if you are submitting IIQA right now, so you need to submit 1920 is your current complete academic year. But still, in many of the places, the examination is not completed. After the examination, after the completion of the examinations, they are giving 3 months time to submit your self-study report. We have given extension to all higher education institutions, but we have completed in many of the institutions 200 plus. We have completed all the process. Only the peer team visits is remaining. For us, face-to-face teaching, online teaching has got no difference. You can see our manual also, whether it is face-to-face teaching, whether it is face-to-face faculty development programs or online faculty development programs. All those things will not be a problem. See, as and when you are conducting, you are doing programs, you are participating in different activities, it doesn't have any matter to us as far as our revised accreditation framework is concerned. But for us, it is only the peer-to-peer visits which is pending, but all the DVB, peer pre-qualifications, everything we have completed for many of the institutions which I have mentioned. Don't worry about it. Look at the metrics. Only 1920, if you are submitting in this current year will be, we are giving extension for the current year, because 1920 data they cannot submit because 1920 examination is not yet completed. You hold, if you are in the process of assessment and accreditation, hold it. Don't submit right now without your examination data. Complete the examinations. Then we are giving 3 months time to submit the self-study.
Okay. Professor Roth.
Yes.
Professor Sudip Bhattacharya, can I ask Professor just one suggestion or inquiry in terms of Professor Roth?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Sir, you see that although these COVID-19 pandemic stopped everything, but the academic exercise which has been done by so many institutes through their webinar and the participation by these faculty members is really overwhelming response for our academic scenario in higher education. So, sir, when we will prepare the 1920 academic year, I think that our faculty members must mention that how much webinar they have participated, and that will give really, if you see to this matter, that they will get some points about this. I'm not talking about the institute, but I'm also talking about the faculty members, because they are, as and when you are talking about the faculty, attitude must be changed towards this online education. So this attendance of this webinar may be counted as the API calculation, promotion, as well as the achievement or performance of the faculty members in an institute. What is your opinion, sir?
Sir, as far as assessment and accreditation is concerned, we, as I mentioned you earlier also, for us, please look at our metric. In the metric, if it is mentioned that value-added programs or add-on courses, you need to have add-on courses of X number of hours. If it is mentioned, if you conduct online or offline, there is no problem with us. We will conduct, in both cases, we will conduct same. As far as assessment and accreditation is concerned, I don't want to comment with API score, UGC guidelines for recruitment, selection. I can give my personal opinion, but I don't want to tell in this platform that as far as assessment and accreditation is concerned, we are very firm that whatever we mentioned for face-to-face, he will consider if it is online.
Yes, sir. Very, really, we are overwhelmed with your lecture. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
If anybody don't have any other queries, now I will move on. And I think it is high time to invite our favorite teacher and respected sir, Dr. Apurva Ratan Ghosh, to address this session. And it will be the first technical session of the day.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Namaste, sir. I'm just... Namaste. Go ahead, sir. Thank you, sir.
Very much,
Thank
sir.
you, Professor Ghosh. Thank you, Bandhapadhyay sir, Sudip ji. Thank you, Samsundar College principals and others. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You can start, sir.
Is it, sir? Can you see this thing? Hello.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
It is visible. No, sir.
Right now, it is not visible. You sir, please try.
Is it visible?
No, your total screen is visible. You just select the window.
Yes, I have selected the window. From window, I am showing.
It's not showing.
From my part, it is visible.
Sir, you start showing.
PPT is not showing.
No, PPT is not showing, sir.
No, PPT is not showing.
PPT is not showing.
I think a technical error is occurring.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
But I'm showing a window
No.
sharing.
It is not visible, sir.
Okay, now, right now. Just a minute.
Oh, it's coming, I think. No.
The whole screen is coming. Now it is PPT. I think it will be PPT.
Now, is it visible?
It is blank. A blank screen is showing.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
not showing
Sudip,
Should I present?
yes. You please present.
So you stop presenting, sir, and starting.
Yeah, stop sharing. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now you please start my presentation, then I will start it. Okay.
Yes, sir, it is already on the screen.
Okay. Thank you. So, good afternoon, everybody. Now, it is obviously my proud privilege to have with you in this morning, and this is the high time to talk about the future of higher education in India, and the responsibility not only that is the institution, but all the stakeholders coming from students, parents, alumni, and all the supportive staff of the institute. So the main objective of this one, which has really, it's become difficult when the stalwart like Amir Kumar Roth, who is the advisor of the NAC, as well as the quality personality, those who are engaged in the maintenance of quality in higher education. And really, it might be excused if I am wrong in any way, but I must be thankful to the organizer of this webinar and the principal, both the principals, Professor Gauri Shankar Bandyopadhyay and Professor Niranjan Mondal, my friend, the two coordinators of the IQAC from Samsundar College, as well as Pradeep, my good friend of mine, and the most important personality of this Samsundar College, the president of GB, Shikha Dotto, she is my friend. And really, one thing I can remember, that it's I'm very much delighted to be a part of this collaborative project. That is the collaborative efforts. I hope that this institutional collaboration may be run in near future. When this topic is discussed with me by the IQAC director, I am thinking about that I should start my journey from educational technology, then online mode of teaching, and after that I will continue, end up with open educational resources. But today morning, when I have seen that Professor Sukanta Bhattacharya, my colleague, he is also sharing some views on the online education, as it has also been discussed by Professor Roth. So I'm not interested about that part. I will skip, though my slides are there, but I will skip on that part, and I will only concentrate on the previous part of the educational technology. And after that, I will enlighten some of the presentation for the open education resources. As I see that higher education will have a significant role in shaping up the future socio-economic structure of a country. And presently, this educational technology and technological interventions are now also making economic impacts that cannot be achieved only by working in silos. So we have to understand the gamut of the system. As you know, the UGC has taken so many steps. That is, they have given some operational autonomy. They have given some flexibility in norms of educational institutions that the private makers or players, they are done. Also, in the recent educational policy, they have mentioned that it should not be not for profit activity. But modifying the implementation of this education as well as institution, certain bills and access to global curriculum, this not only encourage the private players, but it also, to me, promote the higher education in India as a whole to a new level. We know that India's higher education is the third largest education system in the world after USA and China. But problem is also lies still now in the context of quality, poor employability, global ranking, and NAAC scores, as it also mentioned by Professor Roth. But we are proud of one thing, that the total education structure after fulfillment of this commission from the 1947, since independence, when we have only 2.41 lakh of students from 20 registered institutes of 496 colleges. Now we have at least 993 universities, 3.6 to 3.74 crore of students registered, and more than 52,000 colleges. And we are also proud that we have got 155 national institutional level of excellence. And you see that within these 7 decades, we have changed the GER. At least I can remember from 1971, 1% to 26.3%. But still we are lagging behind the other countries like Korea. If you see, it is at least 83. In USA, it is 81. In China, it is 50, and we are in 26. But if you see the state-wise results, then you can see that our small state, Sikkim, that is at least 53.9, that is their GR. Tamil Nadu is 49, Uttarakhand is 39, then Kerala is 37, Odisha is 22.1, and our West Bengal is 19.3. When I'm talking about the educational technology, as mentioned by Professor Roth, the online education, three things I must endure or I must encourage. The first thing is internet. And if you see the structure in India, that internet penetration, in Kerala it is 54, in Punjab it is 49, and in West Bengal 29%. So if you start from internet, then access, and then attitude. Yes, if the attitude is there, then we can make it accessible with the infrastructure facility if it is provided by the either state government as well as central government, because as you know, this education is under the concurrence of center and state. So if I start with my first slide, then we will see that the tertiary education, it is granted by Ministry of Human Resource Development, funded as well as by UGC, as you have seen in the last occasion by Professor Roth, that it has been changed. Anyway, but the accreditation of higher learning is overseen by at least 14 autonomous institutions. So it's a great thing that we have to think about it. Next, please. These are the 14 institutions. Now come to the first slide of my educational technology. What is educational technology? It is the study and ethical practice of facilitating learning and improving performance by creating, using, and managing appropriate technology processes. You please stick onto this line, that managing appropriate technological processes and resources. And educational technology, if you want, you have to think about some innovative technological strategies. Now, what are these strategies? Next slide, please. These are my, next slide, please. You see, these are the educational technology encompasses the different thing: e-learning, instructional technology, ICT, information and communication technology, EdTech, multimedia learning, enhanced technology enhanced learning, TEL, CBI, CBT, computer-based instruction, internet-based learning or training, and web-based learning. And you have seen here, one thing is very important to which we have to depend on if we want to change our institutional structure from one way to multidimensional. When it was one way, it was the physical dimension. If I want to change it in a multi-dimension, then I have to add it, the physical plus online. So if I take this opportunity to become the virtual learning environment, then only we can do this thing. Next, please. Now you see, next one, please. What are the features of the educational technology? Technology as one of the critical elements in moving the higher education forward. You have seen, at the first slide, I have mentioned that the technological innovation and intervention can also shape the socio-economic structure of the global economy as well as knowledge economy. So technological innovation will have a major influence on teaching methodologies. And as you have seen that this generation, the people of this generation, this 18 to 21 or 23, 24 age group, which is the largest dividend in India, that they are digital natives. They are based on these mobile structures. It is inevitable. And if you see this mobile or digital nativeness, that I can say it is artificial intelligence. We are at the fourth evolutionary stage of innovation. If you consider the first one, it was steam engine from 1760 to 1820 or 1840. Then come to the second one, that is the power of electricity. And after that, you have got the information technology since 1950. And I can say after 1994, we have entered into the robotics or digitalization or artificial intelligence in our society. So next, please. Then, next, please, sir. In the 21st century, the first point is that computers can know now hear students. Once upon a time, education was teacher based. Now I can say everybody is claiming, or the adults or their parents are thinking that the digital education is the future. If we want our kids to be prepared for life after school in the 21st century. So technology allows the students to become much more engaged in constructing their own knowledge and cognitive studies. You see, this cognitive studies is very important for us. Why? Because the cognitive studies, it emphasizes in design to introduce you to the study of the brain and how we learn, solve problems, and make the decisions. So cognitive studies will discover the unique needs of learners. That is why I must emphasize on this cognitive learning, where we learn to identify changes in brain development over time and analyze their impact on cognitive functions. This technological change will alter the perception of the college campus that I have mentioned. So institutional role B can be played a major role in the changes of this COVID-19 pandemic situation later on. So it's become physical, now to the one-dimensional to multi-dimensional. Next, please. After that, these social networking tools are helping to build connections with our alumni. In the physical dimension, we cannot afford the situation or present position for our alumni or their support, but we can snatch, we can procure this time of help from our alumni through, if you start the e-marketing campaigns, because technology is enabling multi-model teaching. And these sweeping technological changes can change the skill sets, I'm sure about it. So technology seems to have a fine or delicate but spectacular impact on the feasibility of study abroad. And this can be initiated, this can be started, supported with the help of our alumni, those who are placed in abroad. Next, please. And if you see this for the emergence of these educational tools, how they have emerged, and this is some historical background. We have started our emergence from the paintings on the cave walls to the types of abacus. And in the 1100, we have seen the blackboards, and in Indian school. Then in 1440, the first printing press, we have seen the book and the pamphlets. In the first or earlier 20th century, we have got the gesture stencil or device for using the duplicating. Next one, in the next, please. In the 21st century, the use of we have seen the use of this instructional purposes. The first educational films, which was in 1900, and you have seen in 1993, 13, Thomas Edison prompted film clips. He has replaced the teachers, the role of the teachers with these clips. In 1927, the Sydney Press and invented the first teaching machine that is called MCQ. We are also following today. And this fast all multiple choice large scale assessment during World War I. It was done during the military recruits. And further, you have seen this large scale use of technologies during training soldiers after Second World War, using these films and other mediated materials from their overhead projectors. Our slide projectors came in 1950s, then in 1960s. The first university, Illinois, they have initiated the classroom system, and this web-based or online learning, if you also see that it is started by this University of Illinois, though they have started the computer classroom system based in linked with the computer terminals. And with the use of these computer terminals, Professor Patrick Soaps and this Richard Spink Atkinson, they have experimented for first time the use of these computers in arithmetic and spelling. After that, you see, next please. After that, we have seen in 1971 that the book published the first deschooling society. That instead of sending the students into the school, not only that, instead of going to the school by the adults on job, how do they make their learning system? You see, I want to say that the self-learning is the most important factor for becoming a learning or learned person. Self-learning, life is endless for learning. So this we can self-learning will be the most important part of that. And you have seen that the online education originated at the University of Illinois. And after that, 1970, 1980, and in 1980, you have seen the computer-based training and computer-based learning. Next, please. Then early e-learning system, it was based on the computer-based learning and training, was assumed to be for transferring the knowledge that you have acquired with the support of the computer in collaboration. Then we have seen the video conferencing. Then we have got web-based training, online distance learning, and online distance discussion between the students, who those was initiated by the Open University in Britain. And the University of British Columbia, they have started the web distance learning. And this is the company Blackboarding. They are the first that developed this one. And after that, in 1990s, we have seen the WWW, that is World Wide Web. And in India, we have started this EduTech journey in the 1994 with the name that we have launched, EduCamp, COMP. Next, please. Then you have seen the CD-ROM. But my basic intention is that in 1994, the first online high school had been founded. And in 1997, we have seen that this criteria for evaluating the products, the e-learning products, and developing the technology-based courses. See this point, developing technology-based courses. That is my last part of this educational, these resources. Through this developing technology that we are going to imbibe or incorporate in our educational courses that you are getting either through SWAM or through MOOC or through Moodle. Next, please. So computer-based communication between the learners and instructors is mediated by the computer. And the first Asian massive open online course, that is the MOOC, was developed by the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology in the year 2012 only. And this Bengaluru company, Byju's, they become one of the most valued edutech company. So they are starting with this one, but it has been getting some points, and as at least they are giving some insight into the educational system. Next, please. Now this mobile, what I am talking about, this whatever the thing, it has also been talked about that by Professor Roth, that yes, you can see or you can even comment on that in our in our previous session. One of the participants comment that it is not accessible to all students. I can quote one thing: 21 lakh students in Odisha, they are not getting the internet access. The 38 lakh students are getting this facility. And to procure this or to achieve this facility, someone has to go miles to work. They are climbing on the trees. They are climbing on the mountain or hills to get the internet facility. And this is the scenario really. And the institution must be taking part in this way. Not only the institution, I think that our teaching community, when he is talking here about Gurukul, why not the teachers can give their role to pay for the students to get at least one for a group of 10 or 5 students, so that they can make it possible and feasible to get this online education system through their teachers. Anyway, let's see what happened. Then, so this, I have mentioned this particularly for this one. Any student can get this facility from this app that is called FleeNet. It is connecting the school, college, and the students directly. Some of these learning system computers and tablets that enable the learners and educators to access the websites as well as programs such as social networking, group this group web page, such webcam, and the webcam and the webcasting have enabled the creation of virtual classroom and virtual learning environment. Next, please. This I want to say that we have got a very superficial knowledge about this virtual classroom, and if we enter into this virtual classroom, then we can see that we can create an atmosphere within our own institute to become a core or the station for online education system dissemination to the learners. That is, it is possible. So this virtual learning environment mixing several communication technologies like web conferencing software, GoToTraining WebMix, because in this virtual class system, you can add amongst yourself when the learners have getting the direct and immediate access. And if you, I can give one example. If I want to show the landslide, I cannot draw this picture, but I can show the video for this landslide. I can show the volcanoes. If I want to give the essence of the earthquake, I can give the picturization from this virtual classroom. So that will be more attractive and more educative for the students, I do believe in this fact. And this virtual learning environment is sometimes combined with the management information system to create a managed learning environment. Next, please. And when we are talking about the online system of learning, there are two classes of learning. One is called synchronous learning, other one is called asynchronous learning. And the synchronous learning is structured in the sense that the students attend live lectures and it provides the opportunity for social interaction. Today, when the students are devoid of this peer mixing, it's a great thrust for them. And if you consider this asynchronous learning, it is not properly structured, but this time, this asynchronous learning uses the technologies, email, blogs, wikis, etc. And this e-learning may be either synchronously combined or asynchronously. It can be. Next, at least I will touch upon these tools of this learning. Then e-learning authority tools. They are the software or the online services. I'm going to enter into the online services. Then typing software. It allows user to practice their typing skills. Then learning, this may be flipped class, blended class, and online classes. Once upon a time, the flipped class, if I say that in the flipped class learning, the students are required to introduce with the content. It was at home. And the next day, he has to practice in working throughout the school. What is called blended classes? In the blended classes, if you see, that combines online education materials and opportunities for interaction online. And what is online? Now this will be touched upon and this will be discussed by my next speaker, Professor Sukanta Bhattacharya. But I can only show this first slide only, then I will skip the other slides also. I can only say that as it is also mentioned by our principal sir, Professor Gaurashankar Bandyopadhyay, I want that the scarcity is the mother of invention. And this COVID-19 situation, this situation of crisis and conflicts are the biggest hurdle in the path of education. And if you have seen that it is told by Professor Bandyopadhyay that during COVID, so many cities turned into phantom cities. As per UNESCO, at least 1.57 billion learners, they are supposed to stay at home, which is by percentage 89.4%. The total global economy as well as the knowledge economy is perturbed. But you see, sir, I can mention the quotation from Lee Kang. Online learning is the future. And if there is no virus, that realization would have taken another few years, but this has accelerated the process, obviously. COVID-19, when it is spreading just like the forest fire, it also accelerated the progress of online learning. But I want to say that not only this pandemic situation of COVID-19, but don't forget about the natural disasters impacts. According to UNESCO, 100 million students and other adults are getting affected by this natural catastrophe or disasters. And you see, this earthquake, cyclone, or any other sorts of hurricanes that cause a devastation in the learning system. So I think that this devastation, this pandemic situation, it will be with us, and we have to achieve that I told you out earlier, not working in silos, but to understand the gamut of the situation. Then only it is possible. So this part will be covered, I hope, as an online education by Professor Sukanta Bhattacharya. And I please, Sujita, skip some of the slides and come to the open education resources. Next. This should be mentioned by, I hope, Sukanta. Next, yes, come to this open educational resources, OER, because this is the last part of my work. When I'm talking about the internet, then skill or access and attitude, and we are getting the help of these things, only we will be able to go for online with preparation of these open educational resources. And this terminology, the learning object, was first coined in 1994 by the High and Hodgkins, and UNESCO, they have coined open educational resources in 2012 in their forum when they are discussing about the open where courses. And the movement of these open educational resources, it was originated from the development of open and distance learning. Now, what is this open educational resources? You see, very minutely, teaching, learning, and research materials in any medium, either digital or otherwise, that is reside in the public domain. Very important. It is reside in the public domain and or have been released under an open license that permits no cost access, use, adaptation, and redistribution by others with no or limited restrictions. Through these open educational resources, you can construct a full course materials. Suppose one institute is running this course, your faculty can prepare this material with the help of this, and they can support with his material to the other institute. Next, it includes this video. Please, sorry, come to the first one, please, once again, the previous one. It includes full courses, course materials, modules, textbooks. You see, the textbooks, where it is sometimes mentioned, it would be in your mind that the reserve is protected. All reserve is protected, sometimes it is written. So these books I am not concerned, but some of the textbooks, it is available online. So the streaming videos, tests, you see the MCQ